All right, so Beto O'Rourke is running in opposition to Ted Cruz in the Senate race over in Texas. Now, the polling data suggests that it's pretty close. It's like somewhere, I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's a single digit average difference amongst the polls. But the issue with the polls is, and this is why people should not be disincentivized or lose inspiration and motivation to go out and vote, is because they are heavily basically saying, like, trying to figure out whether or not someone's a likely voter. And I guess part of the data and the requirement to be considered a likely voter is if you'd voted before. So that means you're basically taking out a bunch of young people, and obviously young people vote overwhelmingly liberal. But regardless of that, right, just the fact that it's this close and that the Cruz campaign and the Republican Party have to start funneling so much money to defend a Senate seat in Texas, that's an L in and of itself. He's already taken an L. If he loses this goddamn seat, that is the biggest L since the story of Adidon came out. But here's the thing. So please, 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 if you are in Texas and you're listening to this, I don't know how many listeners I have in Texas, but please go out to vote for Beto O'Rourke. And this is for everyone, by the way. Everyone who's watching this, make sure you're registered to vote. I know that most of the deadlines have already hit, but I think like California, you can still register. You guys got to go out and vote. November 6th, go and vote. Vote. It's very, very important. You guys need to vote. This is hugely important. Big leagues important. But so here's something interesting. Okay, we're going to be looking at this clip from the debate from Beto O'Rourke and Ted Cruz, and I want to highlight the massive amounts of lies from Ted Razor-Nose Cruz, and additionally, I want to talk about a pretty damn good tactic from Beto O'Rourke, I have to say. But basically, if you guys don't remember, during the 2016 primary in the Republican Party, it was a 16-man primary, despite everyone getting destroyed, Trump just destroying everyone. Trump and Ted Cruz got into it massively, just like Trump and Bush did. But Trump made fun of Ted Cruz's wife, and Ted Cruz still phone banked for him. It was really embarrassing. Really, massive L's. Again, the biggest L since Story of Adidon came out. Massive, massive. It was unbelievable. There was a meme of him, a picture of him with the Trump wall behind him or something like that, where he's phone banking. It was so embarrassing. This guy is such a loser. He's such a beta male, dude. Such a fucking loser. There's no other way to put this. It's insane. And so he called him Lyin Ted. If you guys don't know, obviously you know, Trump likes to have these nicknames like Crooked Hillary, Little Bob Corker, and all these other different things, right? So what we're going to be seeing here is Beto O'Rourke is going to correctly call out Ted Cruz for flat out lying. And I'm going to dive deep into this because there's something interesting. So Beto's going to use the phrase Lyin Ted.
This is what you can expect over the course of this debate. Senator Cruz is not going to be honest with you. He's going to make up positions and votes that I've never held or have ever taken. He's dishonest. It's why the president called him Lyin Ted, and it's why the nickname stuck, because it's true.
Lyin Ted nickname, which was unfortunate from the primary, but now I guess he's quoting the president in order to make his case. I mean, it seems like there was no there. I mean, I watched him. He's a good-looking guy. There's no there. There's no, where's the beef?
Well, you could see the desperation in that debate where he was insulting me, he was attacking me, he called me a liar. What's striking is what he was responding to when he screamed liar. Is I pointed out that he voted in favor of a $10 a barrel tax on every barrel of oil produced in the state of Texas. And his response is not to engage in substance, but simply scream, liar, liar, liar. Well, you know, facts matter. And we put up on our website, tedcruz.org, the exact text of the resolution that Congressman O'Rourke voted on. President Obama proposed a $10 a barrel tax on oil. Congress, the House of Representatives, brought up a resolution saying we don't want a $10 tax on every barrel of oil. and O'Rourke voted no. And his response is just to scream liar, and then that's not honest.
Senator, we're out of time, but we enjoyed that debate. I wouldn't want to debate you any day of the week. No thanks. Good luck, Beto. It's not going to happen.
Congressman, I want to ask about the tone in this race here in Texas. It changed this week. You've been saying that people are sick of the pettiness and the smallness in politics, yet during Tuesday's debate that you had with Senator Cruz, you took a page right out of President Trump's playbook, and you called Senator Cruz Lyin Ted. Why did you do that?
Yeah. So there have been untold dollars spent on TV ads that are lies, that are dishonest, trying to scare you about me, trying to incite people based on fear. I went through a whole debate at SMU with Senator Cruz where he made up one story after another. And so at the very outset, when he began with yet another lie, I decided that I could either spend the rest of the debate responding to every single dishonest thing that he said, or I could make sure that everyone understood exactly what he's doing. I said, look, he's dishonest. It's one of the reasons that he got tagged with this nickname, and that nickname resonates because it's true. But I got to tell you, it's not something that I feel totally comfortable with. And perhaps in the heat of the moment, I took a step too far. And,
you regret it?
You know, I don't know that that's the way that I want to be talking in this campaign. But I also.
So as you guys saw there, we're first going to get into, you guys saw the debate clip as well as Ted Cruz whining about it. Now, here's the thing. So he claims that Beto O'Rourke, quote, voted in favor of a $10 a barrel tax on every barrel of oil produced in the state of Texas. So none of this ever had to do with Texas in the first place. I don't know where he pulled that out of his ass, but he literally claimed that. And here's some tweets from him. One of his tweets is, Congressman O'Rourke voted in favor of a $10 a barrel tax on Texas oil. Another one says, facts are stubborn things for Congressman O'Rourke. At last night's #Texas debate, he claimed he didn't vote in favor of a $10 a barrel tax on oil, but the record shows he did. And on his website, it cites an article that proves that he's wrong. And that's the Dallas Morning News. Now, PolitiFact did a little fact check on this, and they came to the conclusion that it's mostly false, and it explains why. And I'm going to explain this to you guys. So PolitiFact says, we track Cruz's claims back to 2016 when President Barack Obama proposed, quote, more than $300 billion worth of investments over the next decade in mass transit, high-speed rail, self-driving cars, and other transportation approaches designed to reduce carbon emissions and congestion, and a $10 tax to support its funding, according to Politico. Republicans in Congress introduced a resolution condemning the proposal. Cruz's campaign pointed to the language of that resolution to support the senator's claim and later shared a link to an October 9, 2018 article from the Dallas Morning News about the claim. The Dallas Morning News article fact-checked O'Rourke's and Cruz's positions, but didn't say who was correct. It says, the resolution states that, quote, resolved by the House of Representatives, the Senate concurring, that Congress finds that 1. Any new tax placed on the struggling oil and gas industry will further prevent growth and development throughout the sector and encourage additional layoffs. And 2. The effect of a $10 tax on each barrel of oil sold in the United States, A, would raise the price of oil and by extension gasoline, and B, would result in a decrease in the consumption of oil. It says the document concludes with the sense of Congress, which was 1, a new tax should be not placed on oil, and 2, in considering future policy, Congress should carefully review the detrimental impacts of placing any new taxes on any industry that has seen a slash in jobs, revenue, and production. That language is verbatim what House Concurrent Resolution 112 states. On the House floor, Republicans said funding should come from specific user fees and not a gas tax. That Obama's proposal would increase the cost of living for Americans, and instead of talking about climate change, Congress should focus on improving economic conditions in the country, according to a list of actions compiled by C-SPAN. Democrats defended the proposal as a way to fight climate change and invest in infrastructure, and at least a solution on the table that can move the discussion forward. Democrats also criticized Republicans for not wanting to tackle climate change. It says O'Rourke voted against the resolution, but it passed mostly with Republican support. Cruz never got the chance to vote on it, though, because after it passed out of the House, the Senate received the resolution on June 13, 2016, referred it to the Senate Finance Committee, and took no further action. Obama backed away from the plan and didn't include it in his budget. So here's essentially what happened, just to break that down, because that was a lot that I just stated. Basically, they made a resolution that doesn't even mean anything in law. It's actually, there's nothing that doesn't change anything in law. What they just said, what the resolution that the House passed, doesn't mean jack. It's like when the UN passes a resolution condemning something. That's it. That's all it does. It doesn't actually take action. It just says we condemn you. That's not legislation. And O'Rourke voted against that. And here's what his campaign spokesman said. Quote, as the Dallas Morning News points out, quote, legislation to enact a federal per barrel oil tax hasn't even come up for a vote in the House since O'Rourke was elected in 2012. Similarly, legislation that would enact a $10 a barrel tax on Texas-produced oil has not come before Congress. So it doesn't make any sense. This is a complete bold-faced lie. And so when Ted Cruz claims that he voted for, there was no proposal of a $10, there was no legislation proposal, there was no piece of legislation that was even proposed in the House it never came to a vote, that would put a $10 barrel tax on oil. So it's like, there wasn't even a vote on a bill that would do that. That didn't even happen. What you're talking about is, you should have said, oh, Beto O'Rourke voted against a resolution that was basically attempting to prevent ways to prevent climate change. Essentially what that was. So I want to repeat to you guys, literally, Ted Cruz's tweets here. He literally said, Congressman O'Rourke voted in favor of a $10 a barrel tax on Texas oil. Facts are stubborn things for Congressman O'Rourke. At last night's Texas debate, he claimed he didn't vote in favor of a $10 a barrel tax on oil, but the record shows he did. So he literally made the claim that he voted in favor of a bill that never even came to a vote. How do you vote yes on a bill that was never presented for a vote? That is it's making my brain explode as to how smarmy of a douche this guy is. This fuckface has the gall to say that, oh, well, facts are stubborn things. He doesn't care about facts, so he just calls me a liar. No, you fucking imbecile. It's because you're a massive liar. That's the reason why. And this isn't the first time that this smarmy douche has been a liar. He's always been like this. He's always been a liar. He's always been a liar. Remember his debate with Bernie Sanders when he goes, you know, he wants to raise your taxes. Like, yeah, you're going to save average family's going to save $5,000 a year because they're no longer paying premiums. Why didn't you mention that? Why didn't you mention that everyone's going to be covered with it? The dude's a fraud, man. The dude is a fraud, and he's such an unlikable, smarmy dude. I hate it, man. I hate listening to this dude. I hate watching this dude. He's so unlikable. I hate this guy. I hate this guy. And to think, this guy has the gall. He has the gall to say that, oh, you know, well, facts, you know, it's the same facts thing. Oh, my God, it's so cringy. It's so unbelievably cringy. And he's such a liar. And the second point that I wanted to jump on is what Beto is doing by saying that, by calling him Lyin, Ted, genius chess move. This is some Pusha T level chess moves right there. You're talking about using Donald Trump, the president's own ammo against Trump, against Cruz against him. Genius. Pure, unadulterated genius. Uncut genius. That is the way to go about these things, right? Use Trump's words against the people he's supporting. Use Trump's words against himself. That's what you got to do, and Beto knows what he's doing. And I like his campaign, and I really hope he wins. Please, 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 if you are in Texas, vote for Beto O'Rourke. I can't stand this guy. I don't know how you guys can stand this guy, but holy guacamole is this bad.